What's the difference between communism and socialism? What do people mean when they say that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism? Is anarchy a good idea? I don't know the answers to any of these questions, but I'm really determined to find out. Because I care about social issues, but I feel kind of awkward trying to talk about them since I'm so unfamiliar with political theory and the proper lingo and definitions and everything. So I figured I'd learn what I can and share what I learned with you. Today I'm going to be talking about anarchism. What is it? Is it a good idea or just something Hot Topic uses to sell t-shirts? Now, according to my research, the core of anarchism is the rejection of unjust hierarchies. This means any system that puts one person or group of people in an unfair position of power over another group of people. You know, things like dictatorships, monarchies, fascist states, these are all examples of unjust hierarchies. But this doesn't really mean that anyone who tells you what to do is a target. When your mom tells you to stop listening to Rage Against the Machine and to do your homework, you can't turn around and say, "Screw you, Mom, you're just emblematic of the bourgeoisie capitalists trying to silence my generation's free speech. You're nothing more than a puppet for the state, and I won't listen to anything you have to say." Anarchists are against unjust hierarchies, and parents telling their kids what to do could be seen as an example of a just hierarchy. But that edgy 14-year-old does bring up a great point: the state. What do anarchists mean when they talk about the state? Is it just any form of government? Is it anyone telling us what to do? Well, most anarchists agree that the state is any system that supports the hierarchy. Some would argue that the democracy we have in America is an example of the state. Sure, we have the right to vote, but it's been proven that our votes don't really matter as much as we like to think they do. We elect representatives to fight for what we believe in, but once they're in office, how often do they actually follow through on their promises? Politicians lie so much that we have organizations dedicated to documenting all the lies they tell, not to mention how much lobbying and corruption happen in every level of government. In fact, most anarchists say that capitalism creates an unjust hierarchy since people with more money have more control than the people without. Now, when a lot of people hear anarchism, what they first think is, well, without the government, there would be no laws and society would turn into chaos. That's what I thought too. But the anarchists would say that they aren't against laws or even government. What they're against are forms of government that put people on a pedestal above the rest. Besides, the world we live in right now is pretty insane. There are more empty homes in America than homeless people, but people are still living on the street. I could be shot by a police officer for doing literally nothing, and the cop would get away with it. Everything is kind of screwed right now, and anarchists say that the root of most of the world's issues is the unfair power that the minority have over the majority. By getting rid of the state and returning power to the people, anarchists believe that the world would actually be a better and safer place. And people also criticize anarchism by calling it a utopian idea. They say that it's unrealistic. But anarchists disagree. They do believe that it might get difficult at times, but in the end, it will be worth it. Because until everyone's free, no one's free. So those are the basics of anarchism. There's a rejection of unjust hierarchies, and instead, they believe in a horizontal society where the people are in control. But what do you think? Do you agree with these beliefs, or do you think it's a little far-fetched? Let us know in the comments. I'm Riley Lockett from Wire Media, and thanks for watching.